Welcome back. I'm here with La Liga correspondent Matt Lord to talk about El Clasico, Real Madrid versus Barcelona. Should be a great occasion, Matt.
That's going to be a great game. It's always a big game, isn't it? These sort of games, it doesn't matter what competition you're playing, but in the league, it's always a little bit more special, isn't it? Because there's 3 points up for grabs. The everything around it, the players that both teams have got, the fact that it's the first Clasico of the season. There's a certain Uruguayan Luis Suarez going to be available for Barcelona. Just everything around it. The two best players in the world, possibly the two best players ever, or certainly up there, and it's got all the makings. Just an unbelievable game.
Yeah, Barcelona boss Luis Enrique has come out and said it won't be a big say in the title race, whoever wins this one, but you've got to look at Real Madrid. They'll be 7 points behind, is it, if they lose this match? And that's quite an unassailable gap against a Barcelona team in such form, who aren't going to drop many points against other teams in the league.
I think that's the good point as well. It's not sort of like the Premier League, is it, where teams are going to drop points. That's not being disrespectful, but if Barcelona are playing the likes of Elche or Eibar at home, they're going to win. It's that type of league. Away from home is a different story, but these type of games, the big games in Spain, are more important, I think, than other European leagues, purely because of, you saw it last season with Atletico. They won the league because they won the big games. They picked up a point at Barcelona, they beat Real Madrid, as they have done this season. Real Madrid have already lost this season against Atletico, and the fans obviously didn't like that. And against Barcelona, it's the old enemy, and it's going to be a great game.
It'll be a big deal for them to lose against their two massive rivals so early in the season as well. I think Barcelona, they come into this match, they haven't even conceded in the league so far this season, which is an incredible record. I think you said the defence still looks a little shaky, and if any team's going to take advantage of that, it's going to be Real Madrid, isn't it?
I think that's been shown in Champions League, isn't it? They conceded three at PSG and against Ajax as well in the league. Like I say, they've been tight at the back, but against the top teams, they're still. I think the thing with Barcelona is I think the way they play, they're always going to be vulnerable, aren't they? Because at the back, they have so much of the ball that when they lose it, they're vulnerable to the counter. And Gerard Piqué hasn't been in great form this season. I think Busquets is going to be injured for this match. Mascherano will come into midfield, but even Matteo will play centre back, and it will be Alba left back. But I think they're a little bit sort of vulnerable, and especially you look at Real Madrid, they're probably not a better counter-attacking team in the world. So
and 30 goals from their 8 games so far this season. They're firing them in, aren't they? Most of which have come from Ronaldo. I know we've got different opinions on Ronaldo and Messi, who's the better player, but it does so often come down to that Messi got a hat-trick in his fixture last season. I don't think anyone's ever got more goals in El Clasico. No. For me, he's the best player in the world, maybe the greatest player of all time. I know you're a Ronaldo fan now.
Yeah, well, it's 15 goals in seven league games, and that's sort of, that's just crazy, isn't it? I mean, these two have sort of rewritten the record books, haven't it? I remember the days where sort of 1 in 2 for a striker was good, wasn't it? 1 goal, 2 games. But these two are just, 2 in 1 is, they've beaten each other. I think those two bounce off each other, and I think there's a big underlying respect between the two, isn't there? They're the two main men. Like you say, they're probably, you look at the top 5 players of all time, they're both in there, aren't they? Whether they're the best two ever, but just in this game, they're both in great form. Messi's 8 goals, 8 assists, I think, this season. It's just 7 goals, 7 assists, sorry, but in the league, his assist record, and Neymar as well. I know you're a great fan. Neymar's been great form as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's outscored Messi so far this season. Messi's laid on so many goals for his teammates. You've got to say, probably, I'm a Messi fan, but coming into this match, Ronaldo's probably in better form. Yeah. There's a spell where he got 3 hat-tricks in the space of 4 games, wasn't there? Incredible record. It will come down to those two difference makers, I think, especially with Real Madrid. They're missing Bale, aren't they, for this match? They're going to try and get him back fit, but it looks like he might be out for this, which is a big loss to them, I think.
I think the hip injury as well, it's that sort of injury, isn't it, where you're either fit or you're not. It's sort of, because he's so sort of vulnerable to explosive play, and that's what Bale's like, isn't it? He's sort of, I think for that, obviously James Rodriguez will come into a more forward position. There'll be another one in midfield coming into the middle of the park. Kadira's come back fit, but there will be Isco, I think, who's played very well recently, and obviously it will be Ronaldo and Benzema's hope to be back as well, but that's still a formidable sort of front three, isn't it? James Rodriguez, we all know what he did at the World Cup, and you look at this particular game, it's big players, isn't it? Again, in big games, and it's always important for those to perform, and whoever, like you say, performs best out of the two will ultimately come out on top.
Touched on him earlier, Luis Suarez making his debut finally for Barcelona. Yes. For me, probably the 3rd best player in the world behind those two. Just an incredible front line. Him, Neymar. He probably won't start the match, will he? But he will have an impact if he comes on, you feel.
The fact that he was back for this game as well was just, it was written in the stars that he comes back for this game. He scored a couple of goals for Uruguay, didn't he, in the international break, and he's been training a lot. He's played a couple of closed, behind doors friendlies for Barcelona, and it had to be this game, didn't it? At the Bernabeu as well. I think he will be on the bench, and to be honest, there's a spot up front at the moment, because while Munir El Haddadi and Sandro Ramirez, 2 Barcelona youngsters, have played very well, Pedro's had a poor season, and he's obviously in that front three. But when Suarez comes back, he'll be up there, like you say, with Neymar and Messi, and that's scary because two of them could have a bad game. They never both had a bad game, but if they do, Suarez could score and game over. So brilliant.
What's your score prediction? It's a tough one to score.
It's so tough, isn't it? It's sort of, how long's a bit of string? What do you do? But I think it's going to be a draw. I mean, both teams have got a lot of attacking players, but I think it will be tight. It's that sort of game. So I'm actually going to back a low score draw. I'm going to back 1-1 for this game.
For me, pretty much anything can happen in there. We've seen a couple of 5-0s recently. We saw 4-3 last season. I predict goals again. I think it's always an entertaining affair. I think I'm going to go Barcelona win 3-2. I'm going for a Barcelona win and a draw. Thanks for watching.